The JJRC H25 comes with a battery like this. It's a 2-cell battery which has 1500 milliamps. It doesn't have an indicated C rating and uses a plug like this. And if you want to increase the flight time of your quad, the best idea it would be to try a larger battery. I want to install this type of battery. It's a 2-cell battery but has larger capacity, and also we know the discharge current of it. But the upgrade is not as straightforward because the limited space on this quad will not accept the larger battery. As you can see, it's hard pushing. It will go at one point, then it will not getting very easy. You can force it, but it's not very good for the battery and it's not easy to replace it. But if you look inside, I'm gonna put some more lighting. You can see the quad has some spacers which only act as a minor reinforcement of the battery bay, and also has a front stopper which will not let longer batteries fit in. It only lets the original battery go in and keep it somehow fixed, but not very fixed. As you can see, it has a lot of play inside. So I'm going to take the quad apart and remove some of this plastic inside to adopt the larger battery more easy. And while I take it apart, I also want to replace the original plug with XT60 plugs, because after a few minutes of flight time this plug gets warm, which means that it loses some current through this, and will also decrease flight time. So I'm going to replace the plug. I'm also going to replace the plug on the original battery, as the battery is still kind of new, and why not use it. So let's take it apart. I have removed all the screws from the chassis and from the motor pods and arms, so I can now flip the lower part of the quad upside down without the risking of losing any kind of screws. And here's the inside of the quad. To access the compartment of the battery, we need to also remove this. It has 4 screws, and the small flight controller should be able to be taken aside a bit, just to make enough room to work underneath it. with the top plate removed. Now I'm going to try to insert my battery again, and you can see it will hit on the front stoppers, but also if I push it a bit further in, you can see that it will clear the opening, and maybe we can even close the hatch door. I need to start cutting now. I have finished hacking the battery bay. This is the result, and you can see there are only small amounts of spacers left. I didn't want to cut them entirely. I have left just a small part of it, just to increase the resistance of the battery bay and avoid wobbling, as this is soft plastic. So let's see if we put back this plate here. I'm not gonna put the screws, I'm just gonna hold it with my hand, and if I take the battery, it will go in easily now, and you can see that only a minimum part of it stays outside, and I wonder if somehow the wires interfere with this, but no, it's good. So I may need to do some cutting on the battery cap here, or take the battery cap out and find an alternate solution to hold the battery in place. I also want to install a LiPo alarm, so I need a lot more space, so we'll see about that. But now the battery fits and goes inside a bit more, so I can start to put it back together, and also going to replace this, and then I'll find a solution for the battery cap.